Namaste, my beautiful yogis. Welcome to Happy Vibes Yoga for you. Please come into easy seat or Sukhasana, and we will go ahead and get started. Today's focus is coming back home to myself. So today we will take the Dhyana Mudra, and Dhyana Mudra is by placing your left hand in your lap and then placing your right hand on top of that. Tips of the thumbs to touch. This mudra helps us focus and concentrate. It's the mudra of meditation. It will bring us home to ourselves, looking on the inside. Today's flow will be gentle. And for those of you who are just beginning yoga, we will go through a slower flow, more gentle approach, more explanation of the poses. So let's go ahead and get started. Close your eyes, coming into the Dhyana Mudra, resting your hands in your lap, closing your eyes. Coming back to today's intention, I practice to come back home to myself. See each pose not as a performance, but as a return inward, into steadiness, breath, and presence. When you let go of who you think you should be and return to who you truly are. So let's practice today to come back to our true self. Let's dig deep and ask ourselves, what does home feel like in your body right now? What would it feel like to let this moment be enough? What anchors you when the world feels unsteady? Flutter your eyes open, coming down to all fours, and then into child's pose. Child's pose is widening your knees, sometimes to the width of the mat, and sometimes a little more inward, just depending on what feels good for you. Bringing the big toes to touch and walking your hands forward. I'll go on my side so you can easily see me. Walking your hands forward and bringing your hips back at the same time. Bringing your chest towards the mat, resting the forehead on the mat. Do what feels good to you. Inhale, twisted child's pose. Bringing your right arm underneath and weaving it underneath your left arm. And bringing your shoulder down on the mat, placing the side of your head on the mat. Sitting into child's pose. Bring your hips towards your heels. Feeling this shoulder stretch here. Inhale to come back into child's pose. Now bringing your left arm underneath your right. Weaving it under and placing the side of your head on the earth, looking through the little window that we've created with our arm. Focus on how this pose feels, not how it looks. It may look different on everyone. Actually, it will look different on every single person. Inhale, gently come back into child's pose, Balasana.
Now coming onto all fours. Wrists should be directly underneath your shoulders. Knees should be underneath your hips. And knees should be hip width apart. Your back should be flat. Spine should be flat, so that if I placed a glass of water on it, it would remain stable. May have to make some adjustments here. Inhale, cow. Now when we come into cow, drishti goes up, you look up. Bring your tailbone up towards the sky. Bring your belly down towards the earth. Caving your back in. Exhale, cat. Tucking your tailbone in. Bringing your navel towards your spine. Sucking your stomach in so much that it's touching your spine. Head comes lower as well. Inhale again, cow. Exhale, cat. Now come to a neutral spine position, planting your hands firmly into the earth, curling your toes under. Exhale to downward facing dog, bringing your hips towards the sky, bringing your chest towards your thighs, bringing the heels down towards the earth as much as you can. Option to have your heels off the ground, but just try to bring them closer to the earth if you can. Bring your chest towards your thighs, bringing your head between your shoulders, dropping the head, shaking the head yes, and then no. Continue to breathe here. When we walk our dog, we want to bend one knee. So bending your right knee, bringing your right heel up, and then lowering that, bending your left knee, bringing your left heel up, lowering that. Continue to walk your dog one leg at a time. Your hips will sway side to side, bringing some organic movement into the body. Now inhale, walk towards the front of your mat into forward fold. Bend your knees a lot so that your chest is resting on your thighs. Let go of your head. Shake your head yes and no. You can hold on to your elbows here and sway side to side softly if that feels good for your body. Inhale, one vertebrae at a time, bringing the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, bringing your arms towards the sky. Slight back bend here. Also optional if you'd like to do so. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring your right foot back to lunge. Looking up. Fingertips should be on the floor for support. Exhale, plant your hands into the ground, bringing yourself into downward facing dog. Inhale, plank, Phalakasana, coming forward. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin lower, keeping your triceps close to your ribs. Come down to the mat, lowering your chest. Inhale, upward facing dog or Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Apologies for that. Baby cobra is here versus upward facing dog is here, straightening the arms. But first we want to just go to baby cobra, lifting the chest slightly, activating the back muscles. Exhale, curl your toes, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward into lunge. Check your alignment here. Exhale, both feet come forward into forward fold. Inhale, coming up, one vertebrae at a time, slight back bend if you choose to do so. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale to come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step your left foot back into lunge. Check your alignment. Exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Inhale to roll forward into plank. Exhale, knees, chest, shin, come down. Inhale, baby cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, curl your toes under, pushing yourself up and your hips to the sky into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward to lunge. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up towards the sky, Utthita Tadasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, arms go to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Your palms go to your shins here. And you want to come up, flat back. Again, depending on your body, you may have your palms closer to your knees or lower on your shins. Avoid placing weight on the shins though. Exhale, plant your palms onto the ground. Bend your knees. Walk or jump into Chaturanga Dandasana. I will go ahead and walk today into plank. Coming forward, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog with the thighs on the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees a lot. Look at the top of your mat. Jump or step. This time I will go ahead and step towards the front of the mat into halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms to the sky, Utthita Tadasana. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, arms to the sky. We'll do that one more time. Sun Sal. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands firmly to the ground. Bend your knees and jump into plank. Lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look at the top of your mat, bend your knees a lot, and jump into halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, coming up one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, coming down into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up, swinging your hands up into chair. Utkatasana. Having most of the weight into your heels. Tucking your tailbone in. So if your tailbone is sticking out, tuck it in. Wiggle your toes, because you should be able to. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump to the back of your mat into plank. Lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Take the option to have your thighs on the mat or off the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, your right leg goes up to the sky, three-legged dog. Now you want to keep your hips squared here. So in three-legged dog, if your right hip is opening, you want to gently bring it back down and then take your leg higher. Exhale, step your foot forward into lunge, lowering your back heel down. So swivel your back heel down. Normally in lunge, we're here. But what we want to do is, so we're here, stepping our right foot forward. But what we want to do is lower our back heel, right? And then we want to come up into warrior one. Here, if you are shrugging your shoulders, bring your shoulders down, relax into this beautiful, beautiful asana. Check your alignment here. Your heel on your front foot should be in alignment, either with the heel on the back foot or the middle of your back foot. And your hips should not be, should be forward. So you want to square your hips. You don't want to move your hips to the side. Warrior one is hips facing the front and your arms directly up. Exhale to frame your foot. Swivel your back heel off of the mat, as I just did. Bringing your front leg back into plank. Lowering down. Elbows in, brushing your ribs. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your dog here. Three-legged dog, your left leg goes up to the sky. Again, make sure that you square your hips here. So if your hips are opening to your left side, you want to square them down and then lift your leg. Exhale, bringing your foot into lunge, swiveling the back heel down, coming up into warrior one, where your hips and your chest face forward. Here, I'll come to my other mat so I can show you guys. So your hips
are towards me and your chest is towards me. Relax your shoulders in this beautiful, beautiful asana. Check your alignment. Remember that both heels should be in alignment. The back foot should either be at a 45-degree angle, or you can have it at a 90-degree angle or 180, whichever way you want to look at that. So either parallel to the front of your mat or 45-degree angle. Sit into this pose, bend your knee. Now remember, option to have a higher warrior, which is a perfectly wonderful option, or bending your knee and sitting into this pose a little bit more. Please, please do the option that works best for your body today, in this moment. Come back home to yourselves and ask yourself for the option that your body would like. Exhale to frame the foot, taking both palms on the mat, swiveling your back heel off of the mat, taking your left leg back into plank, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog, with or without thighs off the ground. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your dog here. Inhale, your right leg goes up to the sky. Exhale, bring your foot forward to lunge. Here, we want to make sure we're not on a tight rope. So there's enough width between our legs so that when we come up into high lunge, we can balance properly. So if you're on a tight rope, like if I was in a lunge like this, it's really difficult to balance. So keep your feet wide enough so that you can balance. And again, you can take high lunge with a slight bend in your right knee, or you can bring your thigh parallel to your mat. It really just depends on where your body is at today. And yoga should really just feel good. So please do the option that feels good to you today. Arms go straight up, palms facing each other. Exhale to frame your foot, bringing your front leg in half split. So taking your front leg and straightening it, and then walking your hands a couple inches back, and then folding over your front leg. From mid lunge to half split, folding over your right leg, feeling the stretch here on your right hamstring. Inhale to walk your hands forward into mid lunge. Option here is to take a regular plank, Phalakasana, or you can take a three-legged plank, so three-legged Chaturanga Dandasana, by taking your right foot into the air, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, your right leg goes up to the sky. Exhale, bring your foot forward into lunge. Again, no tight rope. Make sure that we're on railroad tracks and not a tight rope here. Coming up into high lunge. Again, you can have a High lunge with a slight bend in your knee or sink into it deeper. Today is all about coming back home to yourself. What feels good in your body? What does home feel like? Framing your foot, bringing your front foot back into three-legged plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to walk to the front of your mat into forward fold. Inhale, gently come up one vertebrae at a time. Arms go to the sky. Exhale, Tadasana. For our balancing series, going into tree, bringing your right leg up. Again, toes can be on the floor. That's a perfectly good option on your inner shin or your inner thigh. And if you come out of this, just gently bring yourself back into it. Hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Make sure that your hip on the right leg is not coming inwards and it's coming out. Remember that this is not a performance, but a return inward into steadiness, breath, and presence. Bringing your front knee towards the front into one-legged Tadasana. From here to here, this is all hip mobility, right? So from outward to now inward. Facing front, facing knee. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, we'll go to tree pose on the other side. Again, take your options with your left leg. The option that speaks to you today. There are some days where I can do tree on my inner thigh, and some days I cannot, depending on how slippery my leggings are. Continue to breathe. Let go of who you think you should be and return to who you truly are. Come back to your true self, digging deep inside of us. Inhale, bringing the foot forward into one-legged Tadasana. Again, hip mobility from the hip being open to coming forward and closing it. Focus on the intention for today. I practice to come back home to myself. Tadasana. Inhale, Utthita Tadasana, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump into downward facing dog. You can take your flow here by going into plank and then upward facing dog, and then meet us in downward facing dog. Inhale, your right leg goes up to the sky. Exhale, scorpion tail, open your hip. So you want to bend your knee here, and you want to send your hip outward. Your right hip should be going outward. Inhale, coming back to downward facing dog, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, step your foot forward into lunge. Lowering the back heel down, coming up into warrior two. Alignment on warrior two. It's super important that, again,
Your heels are in alignment, or you can take a warrior two, whatever feels more comfortable in your body. You can take the warrior two of your front heel in alignment with the middle of your back foot. Please take the option that works best for your body. Warrior two is all about hips being to the side. So your hips should go towards your left side. Align your arms, both arms should be in a plane. The side of your warrior should look like this. Again, high warrior two with a slight bend in the knee, or sinking lower with your thigh parallel to your mat. Just depends on where you're at today and how you're feeling. Going into side angle first, lowering your right palm to the ground, or you can take your right elbow and it can sit on your right thigh, not the knee. We want to avoid the knee. And taking your other arm, your left arm towards the sky or towards me, palm facing downwards. Make sure that your shoulder, your right shoulder is not shrug. If it is, bring it back up. Option to lower your right palm onto a block. This is a perfectly great option, or lower it to the ground. Side angle on the side here. All options are welcome and beautiful. Take the option that serves your body today. Coming into triangle, Trikonasana, from this pose, you can have your palm on the mat and straighten your front leg, sticking your back hip out. Make sure that your chest is not coming inward and that your chest is open towards the sky. Again, option with a block under your right palm, option with the right hand coming onto your right shin. Take the option that works best for you today. Coming up and going into reverse triangle. Now, taking your back hand and lowering it, and at the same time, your top hand comes up. So your left fingertips will go down your left leg, and your top arm will come up into reverse triangle. Now, reverse warrior, bending the front knee, keeping the upper body as is. So again, your left fingertips are going down your left leg here into reverse warrior. Now come forward, bringing both arms down, planting the hands on the floor, swiveling your back heel off the floor, coming into plank, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, your left leg goes up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, scorpion tail, bend your knee. Rotating your hip Your left hip should be rotating to your left side. Trying to bring your heel towards your glute. Inhale, straighten the leg, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your foot forward into lunge. Swiveling your back heel down, coming up into warrior two. Again, check for alignment. One important thing I forgot to mention is that your big toe should be visible on your front foot. So if it is not, then gently nudge your left knee with your left hand. Just like a little gentle nudge so you can just see the big toe. Checking your alignment, making sure that your arms are in alignment in a straight line. Again, slight bend, high. Warrior two or lower Virbhadrasana 2. Take the option that works best for your body. Coming down into side angle. Again, taking the option of your elbow onto your thigh and sending your arm towards me. Having a block underneath your left palm or sending your left palm to the earth. Drishti, your eyes can be up top towards the sky or down to the mat. Make sure that your chest is not closing here and it's fully open. Inhale, straighten your front leg, coming into Trikonasana, triangle. Again, please do not round your back or round your shoulders, keeping them nice and open. Again, take the option here. Your left palm can be under a block or on your shin, on your ankle, your foot, or the earth. Inhale to come up, coming back into reverse triangle. We flip our palm, the palm that's facing me, so your left hand, and come backwards. Bringing your right fingertips and walking them down your right leg. As much as you can. Inhale, reverse warrior. Bend the front knee, coming down, keeping the upper body as is. Now coming back into reverse warrior, framing the foot, sending your foot back, lowering down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bringing your knees down into all fours. Bringing your hips around. Going into bridge, coming down on our backs. You want to walk your knee or your heels, towards your glutes as much as possible. Make sure that knees are hip width apart. What you'll do is bring your hips up first, followed by your mid back. And then for a further, deeper stretch, you can roll your shoulders under behind you and then clasp your fingers. So again, let's go ahead and bring the hips up towards the sky. Roll one shoulder, then roll the other shoulder. Then clasp your fingers behind you. Come up a little bit more if you can. Exhale to unclasp the fingers, unrolling the shoulders, coming down, and bringing your knees towards your chest, rolling side to side. Bring your legs up into waterfall. Roll your ankles and your wrists in one direction. Rotate your hands and your feet. And now go into the other direction. Gently bringing your feet down to the floor. Coming into a twist, teeing out your arms. Bringing your knees towards your chest. Drop your knees to your left side. And look towards your right. Making sure that your right shoulder does not come off the ground. The right shoulder has to be planted in the ground. If it is coming up, you can take an option to place a block underneath your knees so that your knees lift up and then your shoulder can come back down. Palms can be facing down on the floor or up towards the sky. Inhale to bring your knees into your chest. Exhale, dropping them to the right side, looking towards your left. Again, your right shoulder or your left shoulder should be on the ground. If it is lifting for some reason, then take the block and place it underneath your knee gently, and that'll force your left shoulder to come down. Feeling the twist in your obliques and your back. This is a beautiful asana for digestion. Inhale to bring the knees towards your chest. Hug your knees in Uppanasana. Give yourself a big, big hug. Be so, so proud of yourself for joining me on the mat today. Part of this beautiful, beautiful practice that we have together. Exhale, gently release. If you'd like, come into the Dhyana Mudra with your hands on your belly, resting your right hand on your belly, then resting your left hand on top of your right hand. Tips of your thumbs come to touch. The mudra of meditation. So we can look inwards. Feel your belly come up with each inhale and come down with each exhale.
Some beautiful quotes on returning home to yourself. What you are looking for is already in you. You are everything you are seeking. To go home is to return to the simple, the true, the deep self that has always been waiting. Now gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing some gentle movement into your body. Roll over to one side whenever you're ready. Keeping your eyes closed, come into easy seat or Sukhasana. Bringing your hands on your lap into Dhyana Mudra. Placing your left hand down and then bringing your right hand and placing it on top of your left hand. Tips of the thumbs touch. There's a traditional Buddhist story about a lotus pond. In the pond, some lotuses are still buried in the mud. Some are just beginning to rise toward the light, and some are in full bloom on the surface. The Buddha explained that people are like these lotuses. Some are still entangled in suffering, some are on the path of growth, and some are awakening to truth. But what's important is that every lotus, no matter where it is in the pond, has potential to bloom. Beauty and wisdom can arise from struggle. Just like the lotus grows through murky waters to bloom, untouched on the surface, we too can rise above difficulty with grace. Inhale, open your eyes. Arms go to the sky, fingertips to touch. Anjali Mudra, bringing your hands to heart center. It was an honor to flow with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.